fishing news is brought to you by Navionics, Okuma, Yozuri, Evinrude, Lama Glass, and the Star Island Yacht Club in Montauk, New York.
Hey there, Toby Lapinski for the New England edition of the Fisherman Magazine with this week's web video fishing forecast for New England. I'm coming to you today from the Mohegan Sun Casino in Uncasville, Connecticut. We'll be at the CMTA Hartford Boat Show. It runs this Thursday through Sunday. Now you're going to be able to find the Fisherman Magazine basically the same spot we were last year. We're in Ballroom A. Booth number is BR352. So basically come in through the main entrance, walk all the way down the hallway past all of the other vendors in the hallway. You're going to take the second left. The first one will lead into, I believe it's the kayak pool, so the second room you want to go into. Come through the first set of doors, come through the second set of doors, and you are going to find us directly out in front of us. It's Ballroom A, so BR352. We've got a lot going on this year's show. Of course, at every paid, renewed, new gift subscription, you're going to get yourself an awesome prize to go along with it, or reward, what have you. This year we've got two items. We paired up with our buddies over at Savage Gear, so you're going to get your choice of one of the awesome new squid baits that they've got. But not just that. For 1 year, you get two items. You also get your choice of either one of the Fishbite strip baits or one of the Fishbite Fight Club baits. These are awesome. Been using them all year. Wrote about it a couple of times on the strip baits. Really excellent product for fluke fishing, weak fish, striped bass. I would great success using those strip baits for porgies this fall. Even outfished regular traditional clam and squid baits. Gee, if you want to see about that, check out the September issue. Wrote the little article on it, did a review. Really good stuff. So again, here's your opportunity to check out some of these products just for subscribing. You're already going to do it anyway, so you might as well get a little something extra. Again, this is of course while supplies last, and you gotta do the renewal, new subscription, gift subscription here at the show. So same as always, $29.95. Look forward to seeing you. We also got the 3R campaign going, trying to fund additional striped bass tags. So as you can see, we got the signage going. This is your shot. We've got the stickers here in hand. So swing on by, $10. You get yourself a sticker. You're added into the striped bass tagging team. You can help us fund additional tags going forward. We've got a plan for this spring. We've got corporate sponsorship. We're trying to get some crowdfunded, so you get to do your part to help us try to get more tags, more satellite tags, find out what's going on with those striped bass. Of course, just last month, or actually this month, excuse me, in this month's issue, we announced tag number 2, where that fish went. So you can swing by, check out the story on it, pick up your tag, get your subscription, get your product. We are all set. Again, this Thursday through Sunday, booth number BR352. I'm going to be here personally on Thursday as well as Saturday. Dale Nicholson, advertising manager, is going to be here covering duties on Friday as well as Sunday. So every day, all 4 days of the show, you got someone to meet up with. Let's see, before I get into the reports, I want to direct you to a bit of a news story that I posted this week at thefisherman.com. Technically, it's a two-part story. Posted it, jammed it all into one. Is related, both talking about striped bass regulations and updates on striped bass. First up, Connecticut officially suspended the bonus striped bass program. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the program, there's no commercial fishery here in Connecticut. So the state allocates our commercial quota to the recreational sector, essentially allowing anglers in possession of one of the special striped bass tags to take a 22 to 28 inch fish, one per year, per tag, per angler. In 2019, this was 3,018 fish. However, as the ASMFC stock assessment concluded the stock is overfished and experienced overfishing, coastal states got to implement new regulations for 2020. So the first step that Connecticut took is to end the bonus striper program. So it was official this week. Check out the story for the details on the history of the program as well as why they did it here. And the other half of the news item that we've got at that same link, again, also relating to striped bass, covers a legislative proposal that was recently made in Connecticut to change what environmental conservation officers are allowed to issue when encountering striped bass violations in the field. Apparently, and I was unaware of this, NCON officers can only issue a misdemeanor summons when they encounter striped bass poaching in the field. It results in a higher penalty. That's why they did this. You have to go to court. It's just a bigger deal than a standard ticket. However, the problem that happens with this is that the court system, the prosecuting attorneys and so on, they didn't fully prosecute. A lot of these cases got thrown out, essentially meaning that the offenders got off scot-free except for their time. And then all related costs with attempting to prosecute it, the ENCON officers' time in the field at court and so on were essentially wasted money, time that they could have been better spent out in the field getting additional poachers. Well, what the proposal entails, it's going to change it so that it's a standard citation, just like all other fish in the state. If you're busted with a bluegill, it's going to be the same as if you're busted with a striped bass. You'll be issued a ticket on site. Again, another problem with the way it was going, a lot of officers were just issuing warnings, which again, it's nothing, not even a slap on the wrist. So at first thought, wasn't too supportive of this, but as I really talked it through, spoke to some of the guys at the DEP, looked into it a bit more, it really makes more sense, because hopefully in the end, the goal of this is to ultimately diminish the amount of poaching going on in the state is the ultimate goal here. So again, check out the news stories. That's just a proposal, as I said, the second one at this time. I'm going to stay on top of it and report back once we have more details on it. Okay. Got a bit of house cleaning out of the way, and let's get into the reports. Fishing action's been kind of tough this week, as I'm sure you know. Weather has been kind of warm at times, but it's been really windy when it's warm, so that makes it tough to get out on the cod boats. Most of them haven't sailed since early last week, and that same warmish and wind isn't very good ice-making weather. However, Tim Moore of Tim Moore Outdoors has been making a go at it. He's up on Lake Winnipesaukee, where he finally has some legit, solid, fishable ice. So let's check out his video report this week.
Thanks, Toby. Well, here I am, Lake Winnipesaukee Ice Fishing 2020. It is underway. We've started the season off. It opened on January 1st, but there really hasn't been a lot of ice on the lake to get out and fish on. Some spotty areas here and there that are decent for walk on, but nothing we've been able to drive the machines on until recently. Finally, the area that we guide on tightened up, and we've got a consistent 8-inch base minimum. Fishing has been decent, some lake trout with a few white perch mixed in. And yeah, we're hoping that we can get rid of these warm spells and get some more consistent cold weather to really tighten things up, because it generally declare ice in about the third week of January, which means that the broads are frozen, the big area of the lake. And that is definitely not going to happen this year unless there's some miracle where we get some sub-zero temperatures consistent to tighten that up, and some light winds, because it's just wide open. But hopefully we can keep this ice and we get rid of these 50-degree rainy days. We've seen the end of those until spring, and we will get underway here. So that's all I got for you this week. Be safe out there. Ice is not consistent, so make sure you check for yourself and play it safe. There's no need to take any unnecessary risks. So we'll see you on the next one.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Tim. As always, really appreciate those contributions. Anyone else wants to get involved in these reports through a video or just a report and some still photos, shoot me an email at Lapinski@thefisherman.com. I'd love to have you on board. A little bit closer to home, to my home anyway, Fisherman contributor Kyle Quinn has been finding it difficult to score some safe ice. He and I have been touching a base trying to hook up to do a little ice fishing, but there's no ice for us to get on. So you know what? He took advantage of what he had available, took a little bit of a ride north and got a really nice pike for his effort. He said he got it on a jointed bomber this week. Much bigger than any pike I've pulled through the ice or open water over the years. Congrats on that fish, Kyle. Now, as I'm sure you know, where Kyle does a lot of writing for us, a lot of freshwater stuff, and he's actually got an article coming out in February, which is due out in the February issue in 2 weeks, talking about late winter pressured panfish tactics. It was specifically regarding ice fishing, which hopefully by that time we will have, but a really excellent article on how to address those perch after they've been hammered throughout the winter season. Even though we don't have ice, people are still getting out there fishing on it, so the tactics are still going to apply for you. And then last up, on a warmer note, I'm sure you're all familiar with Captain Jason Colby. You always get some great reports from him throughout the spring, summer, and fall. Well, he took a little bit of a run south, got away from Little Sister Charters for about a week here, went down to Florida and got into a big variety of species. He said he got some, peacock bass, cichlids, largemouth bass, hybrid stripers, catfish, and even some really big clown knifefish like you see right here. Now, Jason's back now, at this point, in Massachusetts, beginning to take some reservations for his spring flounder fishing. Now, if you've been following along with his reports, couple weeks ago, he noted that the Boston Harbor fishery for flounder, which had been exceptional for many years, it's been difficult the last few seasons. They're getting fish, but not in the same number. So Jason's going to try and change it up a little bit this spring, excuse me. He's going to move a little bit to the south. He's poking around. Let's see, he said he's looking at spots Plymouth, Barnstable, Seswick Harbor, spots like that. So last I spoke to him, he didn't have it quite locked down yet where he was going to be, but if you want to get in on the details, as soon as he announces them, starts taking the official reservations for those, or you could book a trip now and just wait and see where he is, shoot him an email, fishinglsister@aol.com. Get in on his email list. He keeps track of all his daily fishing reports throughout the season. It's the easiest way to get in touch with him if you want to book a trip, check on open books, private, what have you. Jason's a great captain, fished with him a bunch of times. Look forward to hopefully getting out with him this spring once he makes this new flounder move as well. All right, well, there you have it. There's a lot going on this week. I'm Toby Lapinski for the New England edition of the Fisherman Magazine, wishing you tight lines if you head out onto the water this weekend.